Hello, everybody. It's me. It's your girl Tan. I hope that everybody is okay in the state of Texas. We last week we had a bit of unfortunate weather. Was a blessing and a curse at the same time because we got to see it snow. It does not snow, especially like the way it snowed this time, like that. Normally, when it snowed down here, as soon as it hit the ground, it melt. But we was able to get out there and play with it and make a little angels and whatnot. Only the strong shall survive. Not saying, not giving no critic away from those people up north, but we're known not to have weather like that. And I think we did a good job as coming together as communities, helping one another, looking out for each other, and whatnot. But I got on here today, girl, and fellas, men and ladies and gentlemen. um, the lights came back on. We back warm and everything. So my baby, my youngest is 4, and also my grandson is 4. So they was sitting down and they was watching Peppa Pig, and my oldest daughter was like, "Mama, what's I always wondered, what's that? Who is that in that back window in the house? Like when the intro when it comes in, like upstairs, you can see it like a. It's not like a face, but it's like a pink little circle that's sitting in the window." And I was like, I don't know. I said, well, maybe that's a little brother George. I don't know. I say, well, let me get on. Let me, me. You tell me something, I'm on it. I'm like, okay, let me see. So I pull up Peppa Pig. I'm like, what's the backstory? What's going on? And what I found out, the things that we allow our kids to watch. Okay, y'all. I hope y'all can see. Let's see. I looked it up. I googled it, and I'm like, what's the backstory to Peppa Pig? Cause I always used to look at Peppa Pig, cause I be saying she be saying some stuff that I don't think our kids need, like teaching them bad habits. Like she's talk back, she always doing something, she just busy. But then I understand at the same time, some of our kids are the same way. But the cartoons that you tend to want your kids to watch is to teach them how caring is sharing, don't tell a lie, listen to your parents, always tell the truth and stuff like that. And recent, not really recent, but a few years back, I had discovered, when I ran across and they was talking about the Illuminati and Walt Disney and how evil the cartoons really were before they made them so-called allegedly kid-friendly. But they made them kid-friendly, but they was throwing out subliminal message that you wouldn't catch with the naked eye, but the mind will, and it put things in your mind. So I looked up Peppa Pig backstory. Like I said, I hope y'all can see. Right. And it say Peppa was never a healthy child. She was unusually ill and spent her short life in a hospital bed. The titular, excuse me, I'm not no English major or none of that. Character backstory reads: One night, Peppa parents decided it would be best if they euthanize her. And if y'all, I'm not saying that if you don't know what euthanize, that means put you to sleep. That's how they do animals. Like if they feel you sick, you lame, or you just don't cut the mustard, they give you this shot which actually leads to death. The same like, death penalty stuff. So that night, Peppa fell asleep and was injected with a poison, thus killing her. This is a cartoon that I know many of y'all kids watch. What kind of backstory is this? Why a cartoon just can't be a cartoon? Why have a backstory like this? We have to be mindful. And I fell short too. Sometimes when you got to get stuff done in the house, or you're trying to get your bath in, or you're trying to get dinner done, you're trying to get all these things. And sometimes it might be just give me 10 minutes of some me time because you wore me out. And we sit them down, cut it on what they like, and we don't even think of it. Sometimes you sit there and watch it and you don't even realize it. But then sometimes you do catch on like, they shouldn't be doing that. Why is they doing that? But you still allow your kids to watch it, especially if that's one of their favorite shows. So I'm like, okay, so this must be Pepper in that window. looking out because they say she was sick. Okay. So I go down and I'm looking and they say, why is Pepper so rude? Because she's very rude. She's very rude. And cause sometimes I'll be like, well, maybe I need to find something else because she be saying some things to her parent and to, the grown-ups that I don't think is very appropriate for a child. And they said, city dad is something often said. Though some would find this endearing, it can send kids the message that it's okay to make fun of their parents. In episode 1, Pepper even created a password, Daddy's Fat Tummy, for people to allow them in the treehouse. So basically, she's teaching kids how to disrespect their parents in their face. Okay? I'm like, really? Then I look and then it said, did Daddy Pig die in Peppa Pig? And I'm like, what? So they say he died in the end of jumping up and down in muddle puddles when he was Super Pig, and he flew the secret villain of Peppa Pig onto the sun. But when he went there as well, so they both incinerated to death, meaning they burnt from the sun rays. It says Peppa said that this is the end of Daddy Pig, so he is never seen again. I'm like, what? This is a kid show. This is a kid show. So if they doing this in your face, what are they doing subliminally to these kids, right? And then they said, also, what happened to George Pig? They said George Pig somehow or another went to the jungle and he starved to death. Then they asked, what happened to Mama Pig? And then they say she died from cancer. What kind of backstory are these for our kids to watch, little baby? Huh? This is sick. This is sad. Like when I found about Winnie the Pooh, like everybody was mentally challenged. Like they was mentally challenged. Piglet didn't know his gender. He wasn't sure about his gender. Donkey was depressed. Tiger, Tigger, whatever, however you said, he was ADHD. It's like why these kids can't have an innocent cartoon, just make them, entertain them, teach them, make them laugh. Why do we have this sadistic back history of a cartoon? This is a cartoon. Then they said, did Peppa Pig have a boyfriend? Okay, they didn't say. I just clicked on that one. I didn't really look at that one. I just now noticed that it didn't come up the last time, or I didn't really pay it any attention. But they didn't say anything about this. Now I don't know. Now what I don't know is if this. Let's see. Let's find out. We on here. Okay. Where did this start? How did Peppa Pig start? And the idea for Peppa Pig came to Neville Ashley and Mark Baker in 2000. So they enlisted the help of producer Phil Davies, and the three had to borrow money from friends and family to make Peppa happen. Given how short on funds they were, so this is what they created. This is what we doing. And once again, I'm gonna say this: if they doing, cause some like I'm saying, some of the things y'all notice on some of these cartoons, that every time you turn around, they shaking their booty and all this stuff. You like, wait a minute, that ain't right. If they doing that in your face, what subliminally are they doing to the kids? We just have to be mindful. I mean, it's sad, because when you have kids, especially when you have more than one, more than two, sometimes you gotta, you it ain't you have to, but in order to get something done, you have to entertain them where they not tearing up something or writing on your walls or what's not. You want to make sure, hey, sit right here, let me go on and vacuum the floor, let me wipe this up right quick, sit right here, watch your TV program, and after that, then it's whatever we got planned after that. But this is some sad stuff, and I just wanted to put this out here that we have to be mindful about the things that we allow our kids to watch. I also noticed too, my baby was on YouTube, and they have pregnant baby dolls, like pregnant Barbie, like paper doll. Like you remember if you were my age, if you remember taking the little paper dolls out and you dressing with the little paper. Now they got them with the belly and stuff, and the cartoons on there with them getting ultrasounds with babies in their stomach or whatnot. Like, what are y'all teaching these kids to go get pregnant to have sex early? What's going? And I'm like, this is Barbie. Like, Lord, and we have to be mindful because they are our future, and we don't want. It's already sad. We try to teach our kids to be better than what we were. We don't want to go backwards. We trying to move forward, and with stuff like this, it's not helping the situation. I just wanted to. It just brought to my attention because I was just like, what's going on? Why are they doing? I mean, I know it started with the youth, but this is some sad stuff, and we just really need to be more vigilant about what we want to let our kids watch, even though it gives us time. Because I don't understand even why a cartoon have a backstory. Like, why? Why Cinderella, she was treated bad and this and that and this and that. Oh, it just make you think. Well, that's all I have to say about that today. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumb down. If you want to give me a comment, leave me a comment. I will come here to you back. I will reply to your comment. You know what I say. Fuck them naysayers because they don't do shit but run their mouth. I love you guys. Y'all have a great weekend and y'all stay blessed and stay encouraged.